Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm talking about Peter Pan / man-child syndrome. This feeling of being a boy trapped in a man's body. You might be 30, 40, you might be 50, and you still feel psychologically infantile. You're still psychologically and emotionally dependent upon people. You seek validation. You are insecure, you're not living your own life, you're living the life that your parents or society wanted from you, but you're not living a life that's true to you and your values. You may not even know what your values and your purpose and all that stuff really is. You're just sort of existing. Probably a distraction-filled existence as well, where you need Netflix, you need video games, you need some form of addiction to make it all bearable. Sorry if that sounds a bit like a roast. I know that's pretty intense. I'm just talking in this way just so I can communicate that, look, I get it, all right? I know what it's like, it sucks. In this video, I'm talking about what you do. What do you actually do if you feel like a man-child? Well, why does this issue happen in the first place? It occurs because of unmet emotional needs when you're a kid. It might occur because of trauma. Your needs were not being met in a timely, judicious manner by your caregivers when you were younger. Also, the lack of societal support structures in place that help guide a man's psychological development. Back in ancient times, in tribal societies, our ancestors would have had initiation rituals, rites of passage.
Like these absolute mad lads wearing gloves full of poisonous ants for 10 fucking minutes.
But we don't have any initiation rituals or rites of passage now. That's why I decided to run this retreat last October, to help initiate some other guys into manhood, and I think we did that fairly well. But if you're a man-child, how does this affect your life? First thing is opportunity cost. If you live 20 years living someone else's life, if you live 20 years as psychologically as a child, then what are you missing out on? You're not living your own life. You're not deciding what you want to do and going for it. You're not cultivating the deep connections, friendships and relationships you could be doing. You're playing it safe. You're hiding from the world. You're feeling like a prey animal. You're feeling like a kid in a playground that don't want to play with anyone because he's so scared. He's just hidden in the corner somewhere. He's not playing games with people. He's not being creative. He's not enjoying himself, right? It's like there's this scared kid that's just in the center of your psyche, and it cripples your life. It really does. It cripples your life in opportunity cost. What you could be doing, the way you could be being, the life you could be living if you weren't living this, if you weren't existing in this way. That's the biggest cost, really. So what do we do about it, men? How do we stop being boys? How do we stop being boys? How do we grow up? How do we take our place in this world and stop existing for the sake of it? Are you ready? Be prepared for a pretty extensive list of things. Get your notepad ready, because these are all some things that are going to help you in your journey to becoming whole, to growing up and psychologically becoming a powerful man. The first thing is inner child work / reparenting. Inner child work is a really powerful trauma healing modality, not just for this specific problem, but just for any kind of trauma, really. I'll talk a little bit about this more at the end, but this is an essential part of the work, because if psychologically you're still a child, that suggests that your inner child is crying out for some attention and some healing. There is a saying that we remain the age that we were the most damaged. We remain the age that we were the most hurt. Think about what that age is for you. That might be the age that internally your child is. Just some food for thought. The second thing is find a men's group. Find a men's group. Find a goddamn men's group. Do not wait for this, okay? Don't wait for this. This is super important. I was straggling around. I was a ship lost at sea until I found a men's group. I did all the meditation. I read all the Zen books. I did all this kind of inner work on myself. But until I actually started showing up in a men's group authentically, getting called out for my bullshit, getting called out for my smallness, getting held accountable by other men, I was just playing in the shallow end of the pool, all right? So if you want to really sort this issue out, you got to start opening yourself up to other men who are there to support, encourage, and be there for you and be present for you. Men who actually want the best for you, right? If you never had this before in your life, I'm being serious, get this sorted out right now. Alternatively, you could find a mentor or a coach. Either me or any other coach, any other mentor that you vibe with. 3, stop hiding from others. This is kind of related to the previous one actually, but stop hiding in your interactions with other people. Trust me when I say, I know this from experience, right? Having this problem being psychologically a child, it makes you conflict avoidant. It makes you avoid everything. It makes you play life on the defensive. You're not playing to win, you're playing to survive, all right? So you need to be aware of all the ways in which you hide from people and just make the commitment to stop doing that. Number 4, you need to create a vision for your life, and you need to start moving towards that. You need some quest, some journey, some goal, that if you achieve that goal, the process of achieving that goal leads to psychological development and growth. If you don't have a goal, you're just going to swim around doing the same shit you've always done, being pulled in every direction by the same neurotic habits, the same negative emotions, and the same distraction methods. You're just going to be swimming around in circles. But until you actually find the vision for your life, right, and decide who you're going to be, until you decide the kind of life that you're going to live, and then you make the commitment to move towards that ruthlessly and grow along the way. This is how you actually get at this problem, by the way. Until you do that, then you're just going to keep swimming around in the same spot. Number 5, create a code of conduct or a values list. Become aware of what's truly important to you, right? What is truly important to you? Not your parents, not society, not your teachers when you were growing up. What the fuck is important to you in your life, right? What cause would you die for? What do you want people to say about you when you die? What do you want your eulogy to be? Okay? What mark do you want to leave on this world in whatever capacity, right? You need to make these decisions sooner rather than later. Number 6, you need to become completely independent from your parents and your caregivers. Not just monetarily, although that too, physically. You also need to become independent from them in an emotional sense. It's very common actually that I have a client who might be in his 40s even, or 30s, now that I'm thinking about it, who's still looking for his parents' approval in everything he does. Until you break that bond, then you're always going to be someone else's slave. You're not going to be able to take your stand in your own life and actually be the leader of your own life, which is really what you're looking for. Number 7, travel. Travel, travel, travel. Get your ass out there. Again, this comes back to this journey aspect as well. In order to overcome this problem, you need to go on some sort of journey that challenges you so that different parts of you can come to the surface, right? And the old parts of you that are outdated, they can take a back seat. Number 8, spend undistracted time alone. Go to a cabin for 5 days in the woods with nothing but your journal. Go on retreats. Go solo hiking. Spend a Sunday undistracted alone. Plan it and make it happen. Number 9, attend a men's retreat. Men's retreats that have a focus on initiating boys into men, can be really, really beneficial for this. Number 10, learn to soothe your anxiety. Learn to self-soothe. Learn to be present in the body. Because one of the issues that Peter Pan syndrome gives you is that it makes you very neurotic. It makes you very predisposed to negative emotions over positive. And if you can't self-soothe this through mindfulness techniques, through breathing techniques, absolute lifesaver some breathing techniques are. If you can't do this, then you're just going to be dragged around your life by those negative emotions. 11, read about great men. Get some role models. Who is it that inspires you? What men inspire you in your life? If you don't have any role models, then you're not fashioning your behavior around some ideal that you're working towards. Again, you're not moving towards anything that assists your growth. You're basically stagnant. So finding role models can really help with that. Because ideally, our parents serve as the original role models, right? But too often, because humans are flawed, it's just the nature of us, too often our parents do not serve as great role models, at least initially, right? So this is what you need to do. You need to find your own role models. I've got a few. My role models are Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, Roman statesman who wrote Meditations, Carl Jung, Bruce Lee, and Alan Watts. Them's my role models. I always ask myself, what would those guys do in a pinch? And number 12, which is the one I've just literally thought of right now, get a schedule. You know, you need to build a sense of discipline that moves you towards that vision that we talked about earlier. Because again, if you think about a kid doesn't want to go to school, a kid just wants to hang out, a kid just wants to fuck around, a kid just wants to play, just wants to eat shitty food all the time, and etc. And it really helps to create a schedule that you're going to hold yourself to, because that helps with this sort of fear of commitment that you can often have with Peter Pan syndrome too. You can often struggle with commitment. You can say you're going to do something and never do it. You can talk about all these goals and never actually achieve them, right? It's down to a lack of discipline, because your thoughts and your emotions are making you their bitch, basically. But if you have and cultivate a sense of discipline, by the way, I'm not saying I'm perfect at this, I still struggle, but like it's still important, right? Create a schedule and stick to it, then this can really help build that discipline you need to grow and develop and change. So lads, those were all the points, but I want to just talk to you about something now. I want to just warn you about something. If this video is resonating with you, if your subconscious is like resonating with this on some level, then you might feel very compelled to be like, yes, I'm going to be a man now, I'm going to overcome this shit, I don't need the boy in me anymore, I'm going to kill the boy within me, I'm going to become the man, alright? Listen, do not do this. You don't need to kill anything. Peter Pan syndrome is occurring because there is a boy within you already, and he is crying, right? There's a boy within you who's upset. There's a boy within you who's scared. He's anxious. He didn't have support when he needed it, right? So don't be cruel to him. Don't be mean to him. Don't tell him he's a piece of shit. Because what does a kid do when you tell them that? The kid just hides even more. The kid doesn't want to go and play. The kid doesn't open up. The kid grabs his teddy bear and hides in the corner. Do not do this. Your inner child, if you have Peter Pan syndrome, needs your love. He needs your patience. He needs you to hold his hand. He needs you to guide him. He needs you to reintroduce him to the playground again. Only you can do this. Well, having the support and encouragement from other men who can guide you along this process is extremely beneficial, as I talked about earlier. So if you would like me to guide you through this process personally, this is a big part of the work that I do with clients. So if you would like me to guide you through this process in a personalized way, then get in touch with me and book a free call, and let's get it done. Alright guys, take care. That is it from me. I'm just going to hang out in the hammock a little bit more, swinging side to side. That's me. By the way guys, post in the comments below, I might be creating a course about this called Pan to Man that actually helps you overcome this problem and go from being a Peter Pan to a strong man. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Also, if there's any points that I mentioned in this video that you want elaboration on, then post them in the comment section below, and I'll make videos about that specifically, like how to actually do inner child work, how to actually manage your anxiety with breathing techniques, how to actually find your values and everything like that. If you actually need my help in that way with more videos, then please post that below. Let me know exactly. Just tell me how can I help? How can I be of service? All right, guys, take care and see you in the next video. Peace.